NPS, Nikon Pro Services. What is it? How does it work? And what are the benefits? NPS was started by Nikon back in the early 1970s as a free service to professional photographers. At the beginning of 2017, Nikon made a few changes to NPS. Starting in January 2017, each piece of qualifying Nikon gear is given a point value. For example, my D610 is worth 275 points. My D7100 is worth 200 points, and my D300S is worth 175. The 70-200 VR2 is worth 175 points as well. The 14-24 is worth 150 points, while the DX 35mm 1.8 is worth 125. Once a piece of gear depreciates enough to where it's out of its service period, it slowly drops down to 0 points, which is the case here for my 300mm 2.8. Now, it's not just cameras and lenses that are worth points. My SB700 flash and my 2x teleconverter are each worth 75 points. To give you an idea of what newer gear is worth, the D4 and the D5 are each worth 350 points, while the DX D500 is worth 225. As you can see, points add up pretty quick, so if you've been shooting for a while and have developed an inventory, it's not too hard to reach 1,000. Now, one caveat to the 1,000 point requirement is that you have to have at least 2 bodies and 2 lenses to get you to that 1,000. It's a pretty simple process. Basically, you'll go online, you'll enter the serial number, which on most bodies are on the bottom, and the lenses are right here on the back. You'll enter the serial number, and it'll register all the points for you. There's been a few occasions where I've entered a serial number and I've double and triple checked it, and it's just not accepting it. When that's the case, you'll just fill out a separate form where they'll manually go through and check it. You might have to provide a receipt and maybe a picture, that's what I did, but then eventually, after about a month or so, they added it onto my points. Now, there are a few more requirements, but they're pretty simple. You have to have a valid credit card. Now, you may be thinking, why do I need a credit card? It's free. Well, it is free, but in case you were to ship something to them or they were to ship something to you, they'll use the credit card to charge it. You also have to have either a UPS or a FedEx account number. That's super easy. You can fill one out online. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes. The reasoning for that is the same as the credit card. If you were to ship something to them, they were to ship something to you, then they use that account. Another requirement is you have to be a full-time professional photographer. You can be a sports photographer, wedding, portrait, you can work for a newspaper. It doesn't really matter. As long as you make your full-time living from photography, you'll qualify. You do have to prove that you're a full-time photographer. When I applied about 1.5 years ago, what I did is I just linked them to some websites that had published my work. I think I did a couple magazines, the Indianapolis Star, Sports Illustrated, ESPN.com, to where it had a photo that I'd taken with my name and accreditation below it, and that worked for me. Now, in the old system, it's every 3 years you had to re-up your membership. Starting in 2017, it's every year in December. Now that you know how to get in, why do you want to be in the first place? The first benefit is you get 20% off on all repairs to your qualified gear when you ship it to their location. Now, that discount applies to all equipment that you have registered with the exception of D7000 series cameras. Why that is, I honestly don't know. It doesn't really make much sense. Another huge benefit is when you send them a piece of gear to be repaired, they'll send you a piece of gear to take its place until it's fixed, which is absolutely awesome. Some other events is they've got trade shows and workshops and other events throughout the country, throughout the year that you can go to as well. Nikon is also at many major sporting events and world news events, cultural events all around the world. For example, I just checked their schedule and they're going to be at all 3 of the Triple Crown horse racing events and the Indianapolis 500 at the end of May. I'm going to be shooting the Indianapolis 500 all month, so I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that. On site, they're going to have Nikon support staff, they're going to have cleaning and checking of equipment, and they're going to have some loaner equipment as well. NPS is a great service, and I highly recommend it if you already have all the gear to qualify. Now, I wouldn't recommend going out and buying a $5,000 camera or $2,000 lens just to qualify. It's probably not worth it then. But if you've been slowly accumulating your gear over the years and you meet all the other requirements, it's free, so why not? If you have any questions about NPS or anything else camera related, you can comment below or you can message me, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.